to episode 28, where we're going to be talking about our annual money meeting. My name is Sharon, and I am so glad that you are here. So, before we get started, what the heck does my personal finance money meeting with my husband have to do with personal growth? I'm so glad you asked. I truly believe that personal finance and personal growth go hand in hand. When you're setting these goals for yourself and for your own growth, I truly believe that you need to have systems in the background supporting you. And a lot of times it has to do with your own personal finances and budgeting and financial goals. My husband and I have been doing an annual money meeting for at least the last 7 years, if not longer. And I cannot say enough good things about them. We were originally inspired to do this by Kelsey Wharton over on the Rising Shining blog. Her and her husband for a little while had a podcast that my husband and I would listen to. She calls hers the Financial Summit. That felt intimidating to us, so we just renamed it to our money meeting. And we do this at the beginning of every year. So we try to make sure that we have a time that we can do this where it's the only thing we're doing. So we've asked my parents in the past, can you take the girls for the afternoon so we can sit down and do it? We've gone to a library on a Saturday and spread out all over the place. We've gotten study rooms at the library and we work there, focused totally on our financial goals and our budgeting conversation. Usually takes about 2 to 3 hours to really hash it all out. And to be honest, we usually leave with a few action steps, so it's not even like it's completely done at the end of the 2 to 3 hours. But just to give you a sense of kind of the amount of time and the arrangements that you may have to make ahead of time. So I want to share with you our rough agenda for this meeting. Again, typically do it in January, and we start off with celebrations of the year. I don't know about you, but the hustle bustle of every day doesn't leave a lot of time to really celebrate things that have gone well. So we really take a minute to be excited about, the car we paid off, or, the student loan we finally paid off or made big progress on, or talk about, how well a certain account is doing, or just kind of, it is focused mostly on the financial, but just taking a moment to celebrate those wins. It really sets the tone for the meeting, and I love it. After we talk about our celebrations, we talk about how we're doing in general. I call it the status of the accounts. So I am the primary budgeter in our family. My husband has access to everything. He knows what everything is, but I'm the one who actually gets in there and makes the transfers and pays the bills and all of those things. So we go through and we do a status of the accounts. We look at where our savings accounts are, where our investment accounts are, where our checking accounts are, where our sinking funds are, all of our accounts, just to get kind of a lay of the land before we really get started. Then we revisit our 10-year family vision. So I actually shared more about that in episode 27. So if you missed it, I would definitely recommend checking it out, where I talk about what our family vision is, what it's looked like in the past. And when we look at that 10-year family vision, we think about, all right, has anything changed? And is there anything we would like to add? In recent years, we have decided that we are interested in investing in real estate and owning a second home. So that goal has moved up on our sort of family vision and our priority list. So we have been making sure that it's reflected in the budget. And every year we tweak it a little differently because even though it's only a year that goes by, a lot can change in a year as far as your finances go, as far as everything goes, but especially your finances. Then from there, we review our current budget. My husband is a teacher, so he has a pretty consistent income, and I work for myself. I am a small business owner, so I have consistent income. I know how much I will bring in at least every month. I do have a set amount that I pay myself, and then I do give myself profits and owner's comp throughout the year as those things come up. So we review our budget, where it currently stands, how things feel, depending on if we're paying for daycare, what have you, at that time. So we tweak sort of our monthly budget during this meeting. Then things get tricky. We start to make changes and create action steps from those changes. So for example, we've decided we want to start to think about investing in real estate. So we need that reflected in our budget, which means that money has to come from somewhere, right? So we take our income and we look at where it's going and we decide where we can make some changes. So this is where you want to have that uninterrupted time so that you can really get into this. And then finally, we just take a second to kind of evaluate where we end up. A lot of times by the end of this meeting, our brains are fried. Our heads are spinning. I strongly recommend going out for happy hour afterwards because you're going to be smoked. And we do walk away from this meeting sort of feeling not full closure because we walk away, give ourselves some time to think. Sometimes things seem like good ideas in quiet libraries on Saturday afternoons, and then you get back to your real life and you decide you want to make some changes. So we walk away like that, and then usually like a week or two later, we just do like a, hey, how are you feeling about all this? Is this still what we want to do before we start to execute the plan? So on the podcast this week, I am going to be sharing with you our 2022 specific agenda for this year, what exactly it's going to look like, exactly what I want to talk to my husband about. And I'm even hoping he'll make a guest appearance on the podcast. So check that out if you are interested in learning more. And then next week, we are going to be diving even further into monthly planning, working our way up to yearly planning for the new year. So be sure to tune in if you're interested in learning more about that. And also, I would love it if you would subscribe to my mailing list. The link is down below in the show notes. I send out a weekly mini newsletter. It takes you 2 minutes or less to consume and implement the action step if you are interested in that. I definitely had the busy mom in mind while creating that. So again, you can subscribe to that in the link below in the show notes. And then also, if you want to follow along in between episodes, you can find me on Instagram at Sharon Legier Coaching, and my website is SharonLegierCoaching.com if you're interested in learning more about me and some of the services that I offer. Thank you so much, Mama. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a great day.